The court is now in session for the trial of Miss Maya Fey.
The prosecution is ready, Your Honor.
The defense is ready, Your Honor. Miles Edgeworth. I'd better not show any signs of weakness today, or he'll be on me in an instant.
Mr. Edgeworth, please give the court your opening statement.
Thank you, Your Honor. The defendant, Miss Maya Fey, was at the scene of the crime. The prosecution has evidence she committed this murder, and we have a witness who saw her do it. The prosecution sees no reason to doubt the facts of this case, Your Honor.
I see. Thank you, Mr. Edgeworth. Let's begin then. You may call your first witness.
The prosecution calls the chief officer at the scene, Detective Gumshoe. Witness, please state your name and profession to the court.
Sir, my name's Dick Gumshoe, sir. I'm the detective in charge of homicides down at the precinct, sir.
Detective Gumshoe, please describe for us the details of this murder.
Very well, sir. Let me use this floor map at the office to explain. The body was found by this window here.
And the cause of death?
Loss of blood due to being struck by a blunt object, sir. The murder weapon was a statue of the thinker found next to the body, sir. It was heavy enough to be a deadly weapon, even in a girl's hands, sir.
The court accepts the statue as evidence.
You're still calling it a statue?
Now, Detective.
Yes, sir!
You immediately arrested Miss Maya Fey, who was found at the scene, correct? Can you tell me why?
Yes, sir! I had hard evidence she did it, sir!
Detective Gumshoe, please testify to the court about this hard evidence.
As soon as the phone call came in, I rushed to the scene. There were two people there already. The defendant, Miss Maya Fey, and the lawyer, Mr. Phoenix Wright. I immediately arrested Miss Maya Fey. Why? We had a witness account describing her. The witness saw Miss Maya Fey at the very moment of the murder.
The very moment, you say? Very well, Mr. Wright. You may begin your cross-examination.
Detective, if I heard correctly, you said you arrested her because you had hard evidence she did it, correct?
Huh. Did I say that? Me?
I heard you say it!
You did say it.
You said it.
Exactly what about this suspicious woman in pink's claim was hard evidence?
What? Miss May isn't suspicious, and she sure isn't pink, pal. Well, I guess she is pink.
That's enough. Detective Gumshoe, do you have any more solid proof other than her claims?
Yes. Sorry, I got the order of things mixed up in my testimony, Your Honor, sir. There was something I should have told you about first, Your Honor.
Very well, Detective. Let's hear your testimony again.
After securing the suspect, I examined the scene of the crime with my own eyes. I found a memo written on a piece of paper next to the victim's body. On it, the word Maya was clearly written in blood. Lab test results showed that the blood was the victim's. Also, there was blood on the victim's finger. Before she died, the victim wrote the killer's name. How do you like that? That's my hard evidence.
Objection! Detective Gumshoe, there's one thing I want you to clarify for me here. You say that the victim, Maya Fey, wrote this note. That she was accusing the defendant, Maya Fey. That's really what you're saying?
What? This ain't one of those lawyer tricks now, is it? Of course she wrote it. Who else could have?
The victim is the only person who absolutely could not have written it. This is a report from your department, Detective. Immediate death due to a blow from a blunt object. died immediately.
But
No butting your way out of this one, detective.
The defense has a point. Someone who died immediately wouldn't have the time to write anything down.
Objection! Mr. Wright, I beg your pardon, but when exactly did you obtain that autopsy report?
When? I'm sorry, I forgot.
Forgot, you say?
it was the day after the murder, Your Honor, sir. I was the one who handed it to him myself, personally.
The prosecution's point being...
That autopsy report is outdated, Your Honor. A second autopsy was performed yesterday at my request. Death was almost immediate due to a blow from a blunt object, but there is a possibility the victim lived for several minutes after the blow. I received these results this morning. Your Honor, it's quite easy to imagine that the victim actually did have time to write Maya. That is all.
I see.
Damn you, Edgeworth. I should have known you'd have something up your sleeve.
Why, Mr. Wright, you look shocked. Something you want to say?
Detective Gumshoe! You're a sham! How could you give me a faulty report?
Huh? Me? I'm not...
Detective Gumshoe. I'm disappointed in you, handing him the wrong report like that.
Huh? I'm sorry, sir.
You are at fault, Detective. This isn't going to look good on your evaluation next month.
What? But...
Your Honor, I submit this updated report to the court.
Understood. The court accepts the evidence.
Well, Your Honor, the evidence strongly suggests that the victim was identifying the killer.
I suppose that's the obvious conclusion, yes?
Darn, this isn't good.
The prosecution would like to call its next witness. This poor, innocent girl saw the murder with her own eyes.
Let the witness, Miss April May, take the stand.
Exactly what part of her is innocent?
Witness, your name, please.
April May, at your service.
Order! An introduction should not require any reaction from the crowd. The witness will refrain from wanton winking.
Aww. Yes, Your Honor.
This is not good. She already captured the heart of every man in the court.
Tell us, where were you on the night of September 5th when the murder occurred?
Gee, I was like in my hotel room. I checked in right after lunch.
And this hotel is directly across from the Fey & Company law office?
That's right, big boy.
Please testify to the court about what you saw.
It was like 9 o'clock at night. I looked out the window, you know. And then, I saw a woman with long hair being attacked. The one attacking her was the mousy girl sitting in the defendant's chair. Then the woman, dodged to one side and ran away. But that girl, she caught up to her and she hit her. Then the woman with long hair, she kinda slumped. The end. That's all I saw. Every little bitsy witsy.
Well, Your Honor?
I see. It is a remarkably solid testimony. I don't see a need to trouble the witness any further with...
Wait! Your Honor!
Yes, Mr. Wright.
What about my cross-examination?
I thought the witness's testimony just now was quite firm, didn't you?
Mr. Wright, I understand you were Miss Maya Fey's understudy, were you not? You must know her techniques well. Her cowardly way of finding tiny faults in perfectly good testimonies.
Hey! How dare you!
Well, Mr. Wright, will you cross-examine your witness?
I'll gladly proceed with the cross-examination. If only because I have a feeling Edgeworth doesn't want me to. She has to have some weakness. The woman with long hair. That was Maya Fey?
Mm-hmm. Slender, sort of, well, some people might say pretty, if that's your thing.
How do you know it was my client attacking Miss Fey?
Huh? Well, gee, first of all, she had a girl's physique, and secondly, she was small. Who else could it be but her?
Hold on a minute! That testimony stinks!
What?
Miss May, are you telling the truth? Did you really see the defendant?
Mr. Wright, what is the meaning of this?
Yes, what is the meaning? Somebody tell me, because I'm clueless. About this, I mean.
Okay. If you really witnessed my client, Maya Fey, you would have noticed her clothes before noticing her physique. No one wears clothes like this on a daily basis, except her. And I'm no expert on fashion, but her hairdo looks far from normal to me. However, the witness's testimony mentions neither of these things. The testimony is bogus.
But...
Still, we don't know if she was dressed that way the night of the murder.
She was, Your Honor. I saw her. And so did Detective Gumshoe. What do you say to that, Miss May?
What are you trying to say, you mean lawyer? I saw what I saw. I just didn't think all the trifling little details were necessary, darling.
Miss May, the court would like to remind you to please omit nothing in your testimony.
I'm sorry, Your Honor. I'll be a good girl. I promise.
Your testimony again, if you would.
Damn! I almost had her!
I did see everything. I did! The victim, the woman, dodged the first attack and ran off to the right. Then the girl in the hippie clothes ran after her. And she hit her with that weapon. I saw it. I did. That clock. The kinda statuey clock. The thinker, I think. Well, does the accuracy of my report not startle you?
Objection! Miss May, what you said just now was quite... revealing.
Revealing? Ooh, you'd like that, wouldn't you? Naughty Mr. Lawyer.
You just said that the statue of the thinker was a clock. But there's no way of knowing that just by looking at it.
Huh?
Another person in much the same position as you recently called this a clock too. And he was found guilty of murder!
Order!
Miss May, can you explain how you know this was a clock?
Objection!
The witness saw the murder with her own eyes. That's all that's important here. The defense is trying to confuse the issue with trivial concerns.
Yes, of course. You will withdraw your question, Mr. Wright?
Objection! Questions are all I have, Your Honor. And as you may recall, I've caught murderers with these questions before. Well, only once.
Objection sustained. You may continue to question the witness.
Whew, that was close. If he stopped me there, the trial would be over.
Huh? What? So, what happens now?
What happens now is you answer my question. How did you know it was a clock?
What? That's because I heard it? Yes, I heard it say the time.
So you've been to the law office of Fey & Co.
No, I didn't say that. Why would I go there? I heard from my hotel room.
The law offices of Fey & Company, where the murder took place, are very close to the hotel. She could easily have heard the clock.
Well, Mr. Wright, are you satisfied?
No, I'm not. Your Honor, members of the court, it is inconceivable that the clock in question rang. That clock is missing its clockwork.
How could you possibly?
Just have a look and see for yourself.
Oh!
See anything interesting, Your Honor?
It is as the defense says. The clock is missing its clockwork. It's quite empty. Mr. Wright, would you care to explain to the court the meaning of this?
It is as you can see. The clock was empty. It couldn't have rung. Therefore, this witness is a big, fat liar.
Fat?
Well, Miss May? Huh?
Quite a show you've put on for us, Mr. Wright.
He knew the clock was empty. Somehow, he knew.
I'm afraid you've forgotten one thing, however. Indeed, the clock is empty. As you say, it can't ring. However, we must ask, when was the clockwork removed? If it was after the witness heard the clock, then there is no contradiction.
That's true. That is a possibility. The clock might have been emptied after she heard it.
And that is exactly what happened, Your Honor.
Well, Mr. Wright, can you prove when the clockwork was removed?
Impossible, of course.
I have proof.
What?
Wasn't it you who told me proof is everything? Well, I was listening. And now I'll show you the proof you like so much. Take a look at this.
That's a very cute cell phone.
You have a girly phone.
But wait! This isn't my phone! Listen! This is the defendant's cell phone, and it contains a recording. A recording of a conversation she had with the victim on the day of the murder.
Order!
The defendant's cell phone? This wasn't brought to my attention.
Perhaps Detective Gumshoe overlooked it.
The good detective better remember he's up for evaluation soon.
My heart goes out to you, Edgeworth. Not. Let's hear the conversation.
Yeah, it's made to look like that statue, The Thinker, and it tells you the time. I thought you might like it. You always liked toys.
Hey! I'm not a little girl anymore, sis!
Now, I'm only teasing. Oh, I should probably tell you the clock isn't talking right now.
Huh? It's not working. That's lame.
I had to take the clockwork out. Sorry. I put some papers inside instead.
Conversation recorded September 5th, 9:27 a.m.
Your Honor, I think this recording makes it clear that the clockwork was already gone. And this was recorded in the morning, before the witness ever arrived at her hotel.
What?
Well, Miss May, would you care to explain this to the court? Just how did you know that weapon was a clock?
Well, isn't it obvious? I saw that clock before. What store was that again? I go to so many. Oops, I forgot.
So, the witness had seen it before. That would make sense. Does the defense have any objections, Mr. Wright?
The witness claims she has seen it before, but this directly contradicts a fact known to this court. Put simply, this clock was never in any store. Ever.
What?
A friend of mine made that clock. Only 2 exist in the world, and the one that isn't here is in police custody.
Impossible! Everything is sold in stores.
Miss May, I think it's high time you went shopping for a better excuse. Oh, excuse is not for sale today?
Oh. What's it to, you porcupine head! That stupid clock doesn't matter, okay? She did it, and she should die for it! Die!
Whoa, whoa! Let's not get ahead of ourselves. This is a court of law, and the witness will remain calm.
Silly me. Did I, lose it? I guess I did.
Scary.
Miss May, let me ask. Tell me, how did you know the weapon was a clock? Oh dear. Does the defense have an opinion on this behavior?
Okay, this is it. Yes, Your Honor. Allow me to explain how I see the truth of the matter. The witness had never held the clock in her hand. However, she had heard that it was a clock.
She heard?
That is correct, Your Honor. There is no other way she could have known the thinker was a clock. And I can show you the proof.
Well, this is interesting. Let's see it then. Show me evidence proving that the witness had heard the murder weapon was a clock.
Have a look at this.
That?
I found this in Miss May's room.
Mr. Wright, please explain to the court what this is.
Miss April May, you were tapping the victim, Miss Maya Fey's phone, were you not?
Objection! Your Honor, this is irrelevant.
I'm not entirely sure that it is. Objection overruled. It troubles me that our witness was in possession of a wiretap.
This is outrageous. Does the defense truly claim that the witness was tapping her phone?
Absolutely.
Even if that was the case, which it's not, you still have to prove one thing. Did the victim ever say that the weapon was a clock on the phone? Can you prove that? I think not!
Oh yeah? I think I can. It's simple.
What?
I present the defendant's cell phone.
Yes, we've seen that.
Listen once more to the conversation between the defendant and the victim.
I know. You want me to hold evidence for you?
Sharp as always. There's a lot of buzz about the upcoming trial. I just don't feel safe keeping the evidence here.
I gotcha. So, what is it this time?
It's a clock.
A clock?
Yeah, it's made to look like that statue, the thinker, and it tells you the time. I thought you might like it. You always liked toys.
Miss April May, you used a wiretap to listen to this conversation. That's how you knew the thinker was a clock. Am I wrong?
Your Honor, this is ridiculous.
Your Honor, look at the witness's face. Does she seem amused to you? The defense demands an answer.
Witness, answer the question. Did you tap her phone? Miss May!
Shut up! All of you! What gives you the right to talk to me like that? You lawyer! It's no fair! All of you ganging up on me like that! Oh, so I'm the bad girl? Is that it? Is that it?
That did it. The court's seen the real Miss April May now. Now to deal the final blow. Why did you tap her phone? Answer the question!
Do I have to? Isn't this a murder trial? Isn't tippity-tapping, irrelevant?
She's saying exactly what Edgeworth wants her to say. Miss May, you were tapping the victim's phone. I hardly call that irrelevant.
While this court does not condone the defense's tone of speech, he has a point. Well, Miss May, Do you have an explanation for the court? Can you prove you had nothing to do with this murder, even though you tapped her phone?
I'd like to see her pull that off.
Mr. Lawyer, I saw that evil grin. You were probably thinking, I'd like to see her pull that off, weren't you?
Damn, she's good.
Well, you're not the first man who's thought that. And of course, I can and will.
You can't be serious. No way.
Way, I say, way. Oh, and I assure you I'm serious, Mr. Lawyer. Huh, okay. So, the killing happened around 9 at night? Why, that's just when I was getting room service from that sweet bellboy.
Room service?
Iced coffee, I believe it was. Iced coffee? You know, like normal coffee, but cold. If you don't drink it quick, the ice melts, and then you have regular cold coffee.
Iced coffee?
Think I'm making this up? Ask the bellboy.
Ergo, the witness was not on the scene at the time of the murder.
Yep.
So, where does that leave us?
It is my great displeasure to inform you that the witness appears to have been tapping the victim's phone. However, that is a separate crime with no bearing on the current case whatsoever. Her testimony stands. She saw the defendant, Maya Fey, commit murder.
No, they're going to just let her walk away? There's no way I can win this thing unless I tie Miss May to the murder somehow.
Well, does the defense have anything to say?
Well, come on, think of something. The defense would like to call the hotel bellboy as a witness. There's something suspicious there, and I'm going to get to the bottom of it.
I think you've sunken quite low enough already.
Objection! I object to calling the bellboy,
Why? What's your reason?
because I hold that the wiretapping had nothing to do with the killing. However, if you agree to one condition, I'll consent to calling this witness.
Condition?
If Miss April May's alibi is not called into question after you examine the bellboy, then you will recognize that Miss April May was not the killer. Thus, she is innocent. Therefore, you must accept the verdict of guilty for Miss Maya Fey. That is my condition.
What? I better find something suspicious in that bellboy's testimony. Otherwise, Maya will be declared guilty on the spot. All right. I've got nothing to lose. Except for, well, everything. Understood. I accept your condition.
Fool, you fell right into my trap.
Wait!
Very well. The court calls the hotel bellboy to the stand.
I believe we're ready for the witness to testify. He certainly does look like a bellboy.
Yes, sir. I received your summons in the middle of work, sir. I'm happy to be of service.
That he said looks rather heavy, so without further ado, the witness may begin his testimony.
Very good, sir. I am the head bellboy at the fine Gatewater Hotel, in business for 4 generations. I believe I received a call after 8 o'clock in the evening from our guest, Miss May. She asked for an iced coffee to be brought to her at 9 o'clock on the dot, sir. I brought it to her at precisely the requested time, of course, and I delivered the iced coffee to our guest, Miss May herself.
I see. The defense may begin its cross-examination.
Right. I'm ready. I hope. This is it. If I can't prove Miss May was involved with the murder now, Maya will be finished. What exactly is it you do at the hotel?
Why, anything requested of me, sir. I check in guests, I check out guests. I clean rooms, I make beds. I even deliver room service, sir. I checked Miss May in personally.
Are you always so so prim.
Mr. Wright, you will refrain from asking frivolous questions.
Sorry, Your Honor. Are you sure it was Miss May who called you on the phone?
Absolutely, sir.
How can you be so certain?
I checked Miss May in personally, sir. Not only did I see her in all her stunning radiance, but I also heard her voice. And then I saw them, and I... The point being, I remembered her quite well, sir.
And she told you she wanted her iced coffee delivered at 9 o'clock on the dot, you say?
Yes, I confirmed that detail several times. She was watching a program on the TV and wished to drink after she finished, sir.
9 o'clock? The time of the murder? And you're sure it was delivered to Miss April May herself?
Absolutely, sir.
How come you're so very certain?
Well, when I brought the room service, sir, the guests, sir, favored me with, an embrasse, sir.
Is that French for embrace?
It's French for kiss, sir. But not a French kiss, sir. More of a peck on the cheek.
Why would she have done that?
I believe, perhaps, she was momentarily swayed by my prim demeanor, sir. It was a moment I shall never, ever forget, sir.
It's no good. There's nothing there. Is that it?
Finally, you understand. This bellboy has absolutely no reason to lie. Now, if you have any decency, you will end this rather tedious cross-examination here.
It was a bit tedious. The witness may leave the stand.
Hold it! One last question. Let me ask one last question.
Objection! Your Honor, I must object. This charade of justice has gone on long enough.
No, Mr. Edgeworth. All right, Mr. Wright, I'll give you one more question. That's all.
Okay, this is really it now. This is my last chance. What do I ask him about? Tell me again about, room service.
Again, sir? At exactly 9 o'clock, I delivered room service to Miss May in room 303. The guest had requested iced coffee. $18 was the charge, as I recall.
$18? Doesn't that seem a bit expensive?
Yes, well, iced coffee for two, you know. We don't skimp on the ice, sir.
What did he say? What did you say?
Rather, quite.
Bellboy, tell us the truth now. Was someone else staying in Miss May's room?
Objection! I object! That was objectionable!
Objection overruled. The witness will answer the question.
Yes, I see.
Why did you not mention this in your testimony?
Well, sir, you didn't ask.
Nice try. That's the sort of thing you're normally supposed to mention.
Yes, quite. Indeed, it was the, good barrister there, Mr. Edgeworth, who... He asked me not to mention it if I wasn't specifically asked, sir.
You fool!
I've done it! I've won! Miss April May checked into a twin room. With a man, correct?
Yes, sir.
Then when you brought them room service, you didn't see that man in the room?
That's right, sir.
Your Honor, we have just learned of another person involved who may have been the murderer. In this new light, I hold that it is impossible to judge the defendant. You agree, Mr. Edgeworth? Your Honor, as has been previously revealed, Miss April May was tapping the victim's phone, yet Miss May herself has an alibi at the time of the murder. However, that does not clear the man that was with her. The bellboy saw no one else in the room at the time of the murder.
My, what a convenient little setup, but it's too late.
Too late? I suppose you'd like it if I was too late, wouldn't you? After all, it was you who hid the presence of this other man from this court.
You upstart amateur. These accusations are ludicrous.
Enough! The court acknowledges the defense's argument. I expect the prosecution and defense to look into this matter fully. Am I understood?
Yes. Yes, Your Honor.
That is all today for the trial of Maya Fey. Court is adjourned.
Mr. Wright! You were amazing in there!
Really?
I think I might be your newest fan.
Oh, I was just doing my job, you know?
Then again, that other attorney was pretty cool too.
Huh?
That face of his, with his eyes wide and trembling lips, it sent shivers up my spine.
If you say so.
So, what happens with me? Do I get to go home now?
Well, no, I don't think so. Not yet.
Oh, I see.
But I got a great lead in today's trial.
A lead?
That man with Miss May? He's the key.
Oh, I get it. What happened to Miss May after that anyway?
I heard they arrested her. I guess she's learning her charms won't work everywhere. She's probably at the detention center now. I may have to go down there later. Anyway, this case is far from closed.
Yes, sir!
I'm going to find out more about this man.
Do you think he was the one who...
Maybe.
Sis.
Don't worry. I'll find him by tomorrow. I promise.
I'm counting on you.
I asked for a full record of April May's testimony. I thought it might come in handy during the trial tomorrow, but now that I have it, I'm not so sure. Most of her testimony was all lies. In fact, there's only one part that got left on the record. I don't know how much good this will do me at all now. Anyway, time to hit the pavement and do some investigating. Maya doesn't belong in that detention center. And it's up to me to get her free.